So what is it? It's a non-cancerous lump with fluid that usually forms around the tendons or joints of the wrists and hands. It can occur in your foot, but it's not as common. Usually the spots that happens, like in your hands, is like right on top of your wrist, the back of the wrist, and then once in a while, like they'll happen in the joints of your fingers because it is, they usually form around the tendons of the joints. And the type of, it's basically like a balloon type of thing that's filled up with, if you know what the consistency of corn syrup, it's kind of like that type of fluid. It's part of the synovial fluid, sometimes is what fills up that little balloon. So some of the symptoms, it kind of varies depending on the size. But usually what you'll find is you'll find a small bump or mass, and then a lot of sometimes swelling will happen, and that's because of repeated use of like moving it. It'll cause inflammation in that bump to swell. So with that, it can change sizes. So it can start from a pea size, and it can get all the way to 2.5 centimeters big. But most of the time, they stay around a pea size, but it just kind of depends on where it's located. They can cause pain, and that's because I had one. I had a ganglion cyst, so sometimes what they'll do is they, mine formed on the top, and so it pressed on like nerves, and so then it caused me pain. It also caused like some numbness and then tingling, and then because it's on like the top, I couldn't move my wrist as much, so it will also cause restriction of mobility. So some of the causes are, well, obviously it's not really known. So some things that they speculate is continuous joint irritation or trauma to something. So some people who had like did gymnastics found that they got it because of the repeated motion on their hands and their joints. Some people with osteoarthritis, because of those inflammation of those joints, and then just like repeated wear and tear, it causes those a ganglion cyst. It can potentially be genetic. That one's not really known for sure, but my dad has one on the back of his wrist. My oldest sister has one, so for us it kind of runs in our family that it wasn't unusual. There is an increased chance for women, and it did affect people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. However, it can affect children. It affected me when I was in 3rd grade. So it kind of depends on if, like, I don't know. They don't know a whole lot, but it just happens. So some of the diagnosis that will come across when you go to the doctor. Sometimes if you go to just your family doctor, you start there. They'll kind of do a physical examination. They might do some tests, but not usually likely. They'll take a look at it, and then they'll send you to like an orthopedic doctor of some sort, more of a specialist. And from there, they'll do more of the physical examination. So they'll just feel around, see where you're tender, pain, and what kind of, if it's hard or soft. They'll do what's called a flashlight exam, so they'll shine a light through it, and if the light can go through, then they know it's not like a solid mass, because it is fluid, so the light should go through. And other tests that are done are ultrasounds, and as you can see in the picture, the little like black circle, dark spot, that's where the ganglion cyst is, so it'll show up on there. Sometimes they do MRIs, they'll do x-rays, and then the last one is sometimes it will see the type of like, they'll puncture it, so it's called aspiration. So stick a needle in it and they'll drain a little bit of the fluid out, or they'll drain it all the way, just to like test it. They do a lot of the tests more just to make sure it's not cancerous or some other type of disease, so they help to rule out those things. So the treatment kind of depends from person to person. Some people don't ever get treatment. My dad, he's never gotten treatment for his, so it just kind of comes and it goes away, and it doesn't really cause him pain or cause him trouble, so they just kind of leave it. Before they knew more about it, sometimes the self-treatment, they would take, this is what's called a Bible cyst. So they would take a Bible or a heavy book and they'd smack it and then to like pop it kind of thing, but it's not recommended because you can damage things in your hands and whatever parts, but that's why it's also called a Bible cyst. Other things, temporary immobilization, because it is can be caused, like inflammation can more occur if by repeated motion. So sometimes they prescribe you to do like immobilization so that doesn't happen. Also, they'll give you anti-inflammatory medications just to get that inflammation down. They'll do aspiration. Sometimes they'll do this more in kids just to drain the fluid, and so like if it's bothering you. However, you're not actually removing the stalk of the cyst, so what connects it to that joint. And so it has more of a likely to come back, and most of the time it does come back after aspiration. So I had aspiration, and then it ended up coming back. So then resulted to the next one, which is surgery, and so then that just removes the whole entire stalk of the ganglion cyst, and with surgery, they usually don't come back as much. So for prognosis and follow-up, you usually will have a full recovery, or if they don't give you problems, it's not going to create any issues. After surgery, there's a 5% chance of reoccurrence. Like I said, it's not very likely for it to come back. It's a good thing after surgery to follow up with your doctor. It takes about a month for recovery, because they usually put you in the splint and you have to get stitches out, different types of things. Therapy is sometimes a good thing to do because it is a good thing to have, like start getting movement, and it was stiff and it did cause you problems, so therapy is a good thing for you to go with on your wrist. And then also, movement is advised. Just keep repeated using movement, otherwise your joints can get stiff and you can have problems. And just keep a watchful eye on it, so like if you didn't get it removed and it comes back and starts giving you pain again, so then you'll go to the doctor. But otherwise, you have a pretty good look at life. And those are my